Hello everyone, I'm David Holtzman and welcome to Campus Nightly. Tonight we will discuss the ongoing war over congestion pricing in New York City, the Pope battling through illness in Italy, the SAG Awards, and finally we present an exclusive interview with our very own Chris Aurilio, the man behind the scenes who makes all of the magic that you see possible. Our first story. The battle over congestion pricing rages in New York City. After going into effect in January, the congestion pricing program began charging drivers an extra $9 charge to drive below 60th Street in Manhattan. The controversial toll raised $50 million in revenue for New York in its first month, but it is hurting the pockets of its residents. Last Wednesday, the Trump administration announced that it rescinded the federal government's approval for the plan to go into effect. The move was immediately condemned by New York's Governor Hochul, who sued the federal government in the Southern District of New York and announced that the program will continue until the court decides otherwise. Now, the Federal Highway Administration says that New York has just 1 month to end the program in an orderly manner, a move that New York has vowed to defy. MTA Chair Janno Lieber says that there will be no cessation unless a court orders it, and that we are not going back. Ultimately, the Southern District of New York will rule on this issue that threatens the pockets of New York and New Jersey residents. On Friday the 14th, Pope Francis was hospitalized in Rome and diagnosed with a respiratory tract infection. Shortly thereafter, this evolved into pneumonia in both of his lungs, and he has remained hospitalized since. Every night, prayer vigils take place across Italy and the globe as Catholics gather to pray for the health of the 88-year-old pontiff. As a young adult, the Pope had part of one lung removed while he was a priest in his native Argentina. Today, he continues to battle the infection. In a statement yesterday, the Vatican said that the condition of the Holy Father has shown slight further improvement in the last 24 hours. Pope Francis is said to be eating normally and fulfilling at least some of his work duties. At Seton Hall, a Catholic university, and across the world, we continue to pray for the health of Pope Francis and wish him a quick and speedy recovery. We will be back with Angie Diaco to discuss the latest in Seton Hall sports after the break.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
I love being on campus, but it's so nice to go into town.
This neighborhood is beautiful. I always love the walk. We can hang out in South Orange or hop on the train for a quick ride to New York City. I love South Orange because it's small, it's safe, and it only took us about 5 minutes to get here.
It's convenient, right?
Oh yeah.
South Orange is the perfect college town. Let's go see what's happening today.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Campus Nightly. I'm David Holtzman, your host for this week. With me at the desk is Angie Diaco to talk about sports. Angie?
Thank you so much, David. This week has been really busy for Seton Hall athletics, with both basketball teams playing and baseball having their first home opener this week. The Seton Hall women's basketball team played St. John's earlier this week, winning 66-57. Sophomore Savannah Catalan had a game-high 19 points. She was 7 for 16 shooting, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Faith Masonis had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Pirates' 6th Big East road victory of the season means they won't have to play in the first round on Friday, March 7th at the Big East tournament. The men's team suffered a 59-54 loss against Villanova Wednesday night. They had a double-digit lead by halftime, but ended up giving in to Villanova. The Pirates will travel across the Hudson River to take on St. John's at 2:15 p.m. at Madison Square Garden on March 1st. Baseball took home the win for their season opener, winning 14-6 against Wagner College on Tuesday. Kevin Maluski went 4 for 4 with a home run and a triple. Jimmy Brennan drove in 4 runs on a triple and a home run. The Pirates will head west again, this time to California, where they will play 4 games against Cal Poly starting Friday at 9 p.m. Back to you, David.
Hollywood's biggest stars gathered to celebrate the 2025 SAG Awards, celebrating standout performances and unforgettable moments earlier this week. Hosted by Kristen Bell, the night was filled with big winners like Conclave, who took home Best Motion Picture Ensemble. Demi Moore won Best Actress for her role in The Substance, while Timothée Chalamet took home Best Actor for his performance as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. Other big winners include Kieran Culkin, winning Best Supporting Actor for A Real Pain, and Zoe Saldana, winning Best Supporting Actress for Amelia Perez. In television, the cast of Shogun claimed Best Ensemble in a Drama Series, while Only Murders in the Building won Best Ensemble in a Comedy Series. Jane Fonda was honored with the Life Achievement Award for her lasting impact on the acting profession. For the last half a year, you've seen many of the programs here at Seton Hall TV, but how much do you really know about how these programs are made? Behind the scenes, our production team works diligently to bring these shows to you, but there is one person, Chris Aurilio, whose vision has driven us at SHU TV to be our very best and has supported us in bringing you, the viewer, quality content each week. Chris, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here. And it's, first of all, I just have to say, it's all of you students who are participating in SHU Television that's making it what it is.
Well, I like to think that we work hard, and we have our stage talent, and we have our production talent, and we have our behind-the-scenes people who work tireless hours late into the night, this week, last week, each and every week, especially when a show comes on. But there are people at the university who really make it possible, and you're the person we look to guide us at SHU TV. You are officially head of Director of Production and Facilities at our College of Human Development, Culture, and Media, and we look to you as our guiding force to make things happen practically.
You're going to make me cry.
Well,
this is wonderful.
If I could give you that many, I have more. There are more compliments. This beautiful studio we're in, which is new in the University Center, we weren't really sure how to use it. And you were the one who gave us the go for election night to do it right here where we're sitting right now. And look at how well that turned out.
Election night, 8 hours of nonstop broadcast, simulcast on WSOU and SHU TV. I think that was pretty great accomplishment. It's pretty remarkable that we pulled it off, and we used this space, we used the radio station, all the equipment that had to make it work. But again, it was all at the hands of these wonderful, talented students. And in my role as Director of Production Facilities, I'm kind of looking after a lot of different areas. You know, there's the media stuff we're talking about, but then there's also like a whole side of performing arts stuff that I do with the SHU Theater and with what we call the Arts Council, which is everything from our different concert series we do and choir and orchestra things that we have. Yeah, all these wonderful programs and student organizations. My whole thing is to try to get it so that they're working together and that there's like different projects that we could collaborate on. Because usually at an academic environment, in a lot of instances, you see groups that just want to be siloed and do their own thing. I'm all about the opportunities that can be found when you join forces.
And we've been able to bring together so many different projects that you've worked on. Obviously, SHU TV, where we are now, is a tremendous achievement that we've gotten all of this up and running in just about 8 months, which is truly incredible. And the partnership with WSOU for election night, bringing together another one of your key programs to work together to produce something interdisciplinary. We might say that you're the glue of CHDCM in Gen Z speak.
I like the glue. Yeah.
The linchpin.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's again, I gotta sort of like tennis ball the credit back to you and the students here. It's our areas, our organizations, our institutions that we have here, and it's the people that matter. It's you that matter. But yeah, I love being around that energy of the students. I love what it is they're trying to do. If people want to prepare themselves for their careers and see what's out there, we have the equipment that the university and the colleges supported, and we have it all here. There's no reason we can't be using it and getting out there and doing this stuff.
So bringing everything together is obviously an important part of what you do. But there are other things that you do as well that many people may not know about. Tell us a little bit about the South Orange Performing Arts Center, your work at SOPAC, and what interest it might be to our students here at Seton Hall.
Yeah, so SOPAC, located right downtown at South Orange, right at the train station, which you could take the shuttle down there pretty conveniently. Seton Hall has a wonderful partnership with SOPAC where we get to perform a certain number of shows each year. So there will be 2 SHU theater performances that happen, usually like a classic fall play that'll occur, Shakespeare or a murder mystery, something like that. And then in the spring, you get to see a bigger show, like a musical. We're doing a Peter and the Starcatchers.
Is this the official announcement? Peter and the Starcatchers.
It can be an official announcement. I mean, the thing is cast and it's rehearsing. But yes, yeah, sure. The Peter and the Starcatchers is happening at SOPAC the last weekend of the semester. There's also the choir and orchestra show that happens once in the spring and then once in the winter. There's all sorts of classical concert series performances like we do where we get to bring in an opera. And in all these different cases, you have various opportunities where students are the ones performing. Students perform sometimes alongside or under the direction of professionals out in the field, or we're curating events where we bring in artists from outside. And the most wonderful thing about this is the same as the shows that we do here on campus in the college, is that it is free to the general public, not just with your student ID. You could bring friends and family, you could bring friends from home, you could come to these shows together to see them. And I think that's pretty remarkable in today's economy.
And it's a walkable distance from campus.
It's a walkable distance from campus. You know, there is the shuttle, the SHU TV.
It seems to be a theme.
Shoes. Get your shoes on. We're going to the show. So that is the idea, is that you get to see performances that we like to offer, and we want as many people as we can to see it. Now, if we get to a situation where we're having to turn people away, good problem to have, right? Maybe that is the kind of thing where we reassess and say, maybe, okay, with your student ID, you could come in, but then there's a fee and that kind of thing. So very exciting things happening at SOPAC.
I hope we get to that. Tell us a little bit about the Christmas special.
The 1964 Christmas Spectacular, is that what you're asking about?
That's the one.
This is the show written and directed by Chris Aurilio, but performed by the folks of SHU Theater. You know, these wonderful students who really channeled doing like old school 1964 throwback sketch comedy with some song and variety shows kind of a thing. And it happened in the theater. And you can watch it on SHU television. You can watch it on the YouTube page. It was recorded. It was the first production that we got to have the SHU Theater students working in creating the production alongside the SHU TV live shoot that got to produce it, and now we have this wonderful product. Again, that's my whole thing of like getting these groups to collaborate.
Getting together. The Oscars are coming up. I heard through the grapevine, a little birdie told me, that you know a thing or two about movies.
Ooh, I've seen a bunch, although this year I've had a harder time getting to them all. 10 nominations for Best
10
Picture.
nominations.
Yeah.
What stands out to you? Is there anyone you really like? Is there anyone you really don't?
Well, the theater kid in me loves Wicked. The horror fan in me loves The Substance. I have to be careful recommending that one because people look at you funny. But it is quite a picture.
Good horror is like that.
Good
I
horror.
think. Good horror makes you question.
Wonderful small movie called Honora, which is doing very well in the festival circuit. So those are like a couple of my highlights. I still have to see everything. So this year the Oscars are going to be my recommendation list of what to see.
Which movie am I going home tonight, turning on my TV and putting on?
Well, you have to really look. You have to really pay attention to run times because I think The Brutalist is 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
So it might impact your bedtime, to be completely honest.
Are you for brutalist architecture?
Is Jubilee Hall brutalist architecture? I think it might be.
It's borderline, I think.
Yeah,
It could be.
quasi-brutalist. I'm so fascinated when I see brutalist architecture. There was this building in New York City. It's like the AT&T, I think, building, or was an AT. It's just a tower with 4 windows at the top, but it's really tall.
That one's a little bit suspicious. There's a lot of people who think that that's a CIA front.
It's something.
The AT&T Tower in Manhattan. Duffy Hall, I think, right behind us, I think is
Brutalist.
Brutalist.
Yeah, with the one classroom hanging over. Yeah.
Isn't that a building?
It's quite interesting. Each building has a different era here.
Now, one of the other things you've done is stand-up comedy. You've done improv. And you've worked at the Pit in New York City. Can you leave us, we'll close out with an anecdote from that. Tell us a story.
A story. It was pretty wild to do a show where I got to eat dinner on stage with a friend of mine. That was an excuse to order out and have a nice dinner, but I did it on stage where I had a conversation with someone on stage just like I'm having now. It was a show called My Dinner with Aurilio. The only thing different from this experience is that we're not being served food.
Well, maybe we can change that for the second time we have you on. Chris, it was an absolute pleasure to have you.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this night's episode. We want to leave you with a Seton Hall exclusive interview with actor and musician Ross Lynch from our producers.
No, we gotta do the clap. When the crowd all smart, I bring all the further, 'cause you got my back and I'm not going under. You're my point and my God, you're the perfect four, and I see your hands together on every billboard. Heading for the top, we got it on lock, make me say, hey, we'll keep rocking. Oh.
What's the biggest difference for you when it comes to performing in front of an audience as a musician versus an actor?
I feel like as a musician, you have it's a lot more rooted in spontaneity, and whereas like acting, you're very much more like trying to find moments. And I haven't really performed as an actor in front of like a large group of people in a long time. Probably the last time was Austin and Alley. But that's like it's just different because you're more like performing skits that are made to like cause a reaction. Yeah. Whereas like when I'm performing, I'm just trying to like do anything to like spark some excitement, you know.
What are you most looking forward to in the tour?
Like progress and getting better, and it's still getting better. Like even though I've been doing this for like over a decade now, which kind of sounds crazy. I'm looking forward to continuing to progress and get better. And this is actually the biggest production we've ever done. So we have like a big stage and like video walls and stuff, like all sorts of fun ways to play. Cause like typically we're like kind of rock and roll. It's just like us and like our instruments, and we just like have at it, which has worked for us for a really long time. But now we're trying to like do like more of a production show. So there's a lot of like new elements to play with that I'm excited to get creative with.
What inspired the new music that you're writing?
I mean just life. It's always just about life. I'm not sure if you guys have ever been in love, but like when you're in love and you like get your heart broken, there's some challenges to get back to that place where you want to be in a committed relationship again. So there's some layers of that in the album that I was going through. There's like some real things that I think everybody goes through that